Fault Lines with Nixon and Stranahan. And now on the number one populist radio show in America, the Morning News Roundup for Thursday, December 14th. The Fed raised interest rates yesterday as expected. Fed Chair Janet Yellen also said that she thought the tax reform bill that is making its way through Congress right now would lead to some economic growth and not increase inflation. Good news for the people pushing the tax reform bill. Janet Yellen's replacement, Jerome Powell, says that he'll stick with the Fed's current policies, which have included a few different rate increases in the past year. FBI personnel who sent strongly anti-Trump text, and by the way, as we pointed out this morning, some strongly anti-Bernie text as well, while working under Mueller, are now coming under scrutiny. In testimony yesterday, in front of the House, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein defended the anti-Trump personnel who worked for Mueller and actually said, well, people can have their political opinions. These texts, when you read them, went way beyond political opinions. Meanwhile, in a shocking story, a Kentucky lawmaker, Dan Johnson, a Republican, committed suicide after allegations of sexually assaulting a teenager. You can read the full investigation. We'll have the link for you in the Populist.tv morning report, but it's a long investigation that came out. On Tuesday, he'd said he would not resign, but then he ended up killing himself. And Kentucky Senator Rand Paul actually tweeted condolences out and prayers for Johnson's family last night. Meanwhile, we talked about the tax bill before. The House and the Senate continue to work on the tax reform bill. A compromise between the two versions has come up, which reduces the corporate tax rate to 21%, allowing the top tax rate to go down to 37%. That's a slight increase in what the corporate tax rate that they'd been proposing was, and a slight decrease in the personal rate. The IRS says that taxpayers, that's you, could see benefits from this bill as early as February. They would see a reduction in withholding. Meanwhile, an abortion bill has been passed on and then vetoed in Ohio. John Kasich vetoed the so-called heartbeat bill, which would have outlawed abortions after the fetal heartbeat is detected, but he approved a law that would prevent abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. In the Alabama Senate race that was decided yesterday, Jones and Moore are still butting heads, even though the race is over. Moore is calling for a recount in what was a close race, even though he's not within the margin of error for an automatic recount. And he's also going on what the Washington Post is referring to as a religious crusade, saying that, quote, immorality sweeps over the land, and that this is a contest for the heart and soul of the country. Meanwhile, Senator-elect Doug Jones has hit back, saying it's time to move on. And finally, more sexual allegation charges against the media. Russell Simmons, the music mogul and hip-hop entrepreneur, has been accused by rape of 3 women. A number of women have come forward. He's been accused of sexual allegations by a number of women, including rape. Meanwhile, Tavis Smiley from PBS has been dropped from PBS. And he hit back, saying that he never groped, coerced, this is a quote, he never groped, coerced, or exposed myself inappropriately to any workplace colleague in his entire broadcast career. That's a look at the headlines. You're listening to Fault Lines with Nixon and Stranahan.
And we have with us Jackie Luqman. Jackie is the co-founder of Luqman Media, co-host of